Good morning everyone, happy October, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back. If you are a regular viewer, if you are new here, my name is Gemma. I'm a single parent of 2 teens and I talk about budgeting and how I make money and just surviving basically. And we are now in October, my favorite time of the year, and you know that means that we have to set up our October budget. Not gonna lie, September was not great for me. Few impulse purchases, just silly decisions. My mood was kind of low and I let that kind of take control of my spending, which is not great. But do you know what we do? We acknowledge where we've made mistakes. We learn the lessons, hopefully, and then we move forward. So today we are setting up October's budget. We're going to be motivated. Me and you, we're going to do this together. This is going to be a journey that we're going to lock in for the last 3 months of the year. You're coming on this journey with me, honestly, whether you want to or not. Because I need someone to hold me accountable. Because I can literally feel myself going into hibernation mode. So yeah, we're going to lock in for the last 3 months of October and just make them super successful, super productive. Well, that's the plan anyway. So let me show you September first. This is the first time in a really long time that I have been in a negative at the end of the month. So I should have had £246.77 left over, and I actually had minus £77.47. So I went into my overdraft, which I'm trying really hard not to do, because there was a time when I just lived in my overdraft, and you know, it's difficult to get out of, isn't it, once you start using those regularly. It's nice to have them there as a buffer, but I really don't want to start living in it. The biggest thing was the miscellaneous spending, which is kind of where I throw everything that hasn't got a proper category. I really do think that as we move forward, I probably need to make much more defined categories rather than just miscellaneous, because I think I'm starting to overuse it. I re-downloaded the Vinted app, which is I don't know, you get some bargains on there, right? We needed some new clothes, so I got some stuff from on there. We've had a ton of takeaways in September. I didn't budget for a birthday expense, so that came out, and I'm not using my car right now, so I needed an additional 30 for travel that wasn't part of the budget. It's not you know, it's not fatal, so that's okay. But yeah, so I put more on the credit card as well the month before, so I had to pay that back as well, just because I'm trying to rebuild my credit score, because I would like to in the future get a mortgage and buy a home and not have to rent anymore. So that's why I'm using that. So let's come over to October then, and we can start filling that in. So minus 77.47. So that's my budget and the actual. So let's come down to the salary. So something's happened. If you've been around for a while, you'll know that I'm self-employed. I have several streams of income. That was my, you know, my whole purpose for the last few years has been about setting up several different streams of income. One of those is self-publishing on KDP. Some of you may have found me by videos that I've made on that topic in the past. I am currently in a battle with KDP because they have suspended my account. They've suspended it on a copyright issue, which is one of the most difficult ones to fight. Even though the book that I created, I did absolutely everything in it. The words, the pictures, absolutely, I mean, there really isn't a lot of pictures, but absolutely everything in it. So trying to prove that I own the copyright when I created it is much more difficult than trying to show them, you know, a license. You know, if I'd have used it from Creative Fabrica or something like that. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know whether that's going to be gone completely, whether I can get it reinstated. I don't know. So that's quite worrying. Thankfully, the whole point of me setting up these multiple different streams of income was so that if something like this happened, it wouldn't be fatal. So I don't know whether to start in October to bring my salary down just for the next couple of months, until I can get it either figured out or increase the amount I'm making from the other streams, bring in you know, something else. I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to pay myself $2,000 in October. Side hustles I'm going to keep as 0. Now, you know, you win some, you lose some. I had a discussion with my ex-husband, and he has agreed to up the maintenance to £300 a month, which sounds like such a huge amount, but actually he earns a considerable amount of money. He is in a profession, and I had reached out to him and said, hey, look, we haven't had a recalculation on the maintenance for over a decade. Obviously things cost far more now for the kids than what they did back then. So I said, you know, would you like to go through the child maintenance people? The child maintenance service? No, child maintenance options, I think it's called now. So that you don't have to tell me what you're earning or whatever else. He's in the police force, and he's got a very long time of serving, so he's earning a considerable amount. But he agreed to do it with just me and him, and we did it through a calculator online, and it came out as more than 300 a month actually, but he's paying 300. So we've got a bit of an increase for the kids. For probably, I mean, my kids are like 17 and 15 now, so we're right at the tail end of where he's going to have to legally pay things, and I imagine as soon as he's not legally obliged to, that will all stop, regardless of whether I'm still, you know, paying out for the kids. But you know, something's better than nothing, isn't it? So child benefit, sorry, it's 173.20. Why is that set as 10? Oh, let's get rid of all that. Right, so these are just the boring ones that never really change. Rent, $7.90. Well, you hope that they don't change. $1.40 for council tax, $90 for gas, $90 for electric, $40 for water, which I think I'm going to have to increase. Wait, is it still 40? Or did it go up to 40? Or am I just having some kind of mental break? 40. It's 40 on all the other ones. 13 for my mobile, $29.50 for the broadband, 27 for the car insurance, and 3 for the car tax. Let's move over to the variable expenses then. So groceries, for the next week I am doing a use up what I've got challenge, which the kids are absolutely thrilled about because it involves a lot of pasta dishes and a lot of kind of leftover stuff that's in the freezer, like soups and stews. And if you've got teenagers, you'll know how much they love it when you make a stew. But it's healthy, it's fresh, it's delicious. Like, they eat it and they enjoy it, but they'll moan about it first. So that's the first week, and then we need obviously the rest of the month. So how much do I want to budget for groceries? Let's do $3.50. It's getting increasingly difficult just to keep it down, even with batch cooking and, you know, buying cheaper things. Last month I ordered a thankfully very small grocery order from Iceland, and it is the first time in years that I've used Iceland. I'd got a voucher code for, you know, some money off. So I was like, let me see if I can get some stuff that we can put into the freezer and then kind of just have a month. Like I said in the intro, I was really low mood last month. So I just was trying to think of ways just to make life easier, honestly. So I ordered some stuff. So I ordered a lot of pasties. They had some individual lasagnas as well, that were £1 each, which should have been my first clue that they weren't going to be great quality. But for the three of us, it was £3 for lasagna, obviously £1 each, as opposed to, you know, the price of mince alone at the minute was more than that. So I was like, let me get some of those. When I tell you there was not one scrap of meat in those lasagnas, you know food is bad. And the pasties as well. Oh my goodness, grim. Just absolutely gross. Things, I got like a beef and onion pasties, no beef in it whatsoever. The fillings just tasted like chemicals, like so bad. So it actually ended up being a waste of money, because half of that stuff that I bought, where we've opened it, someone's tried it and gone, don't eat that, and no one's eaten it, which is unheard of in this house. We love our food. So that was a complete waste of time. So that's not even an option of buying cheap for us, because just no one's going to eat it. So we'll keep it at £3.50, and then we'll see what we come out with in the end of October. So Dylan's mobile is 10. He goes to the gym, which is £23.50, which will be going up because he turns 16 at the end of November, which means he cannot use the junior pass anymore. He has to go to an adult pass, which I think is 40 something a month. So, but he loves it, and he literally goes every day after school with his friends. So I'm reluctant to get rid of it. Like, I would like to keep it for him if I can. So subscriptions, what's the total cost of subscriptions? £26.90. £26.90. £26.95 it should be. 90 sounds random. Miscellaneous we're going to come back to. So in October I have my daughter's birthday. She will be turning 18. So I've been doing that thing, you know, where you walk around going, oh, this time 18 years ago I was out here, and because I was huge. I mean, I'm only short anyway, so there literally was only one way for me to go. So obviously she's gonna have presents. We're going out for something to eat, something to celebrate her birthday, you know, and cards, balloons, things like that. So I've already got a couple of little gifts, so I don't need anything for that, but I am going to set aside £150 for that. I'm going to do another £30 for travel, because the car is still not being used this month, even though it is still going to be insured. So miscellaneous then. Let's put that as 200. We always put that as 200, so let's do that. Let's come down here then. So the credit card, I believe, is £67.92, so that will be paid off in full, and so that leaves £314. So the challenges I want to keep doing, because I find those really motivating. So those are 155, so that leaves 159. The emergency fund I don't really need to put anything into. The holiday fund, let's do the sinking funds. I think those are the ones that I want to focus on. So I'm going to do 150 into the sinking funds, and that's split between like a lot of things. So that should leave over then £9.86. Now, as long as I don't go, why? Oh, wait. I know what I'm missing. The home insurance is £2.87. So that leaves us £2.86. So as long as I can stick to those things, then we should be back on track for November. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more conservative with how much I'm paying myself. Like I say, with KDP, and I don't know what's going to happen there, which actually it makes me really sad if I lose that, because I literally created all of that stuff. Like, that's my work. I'm not someone that takes other people's stuff and tries to pass it off as their own. You know, I've never ever done that. So I'm hoping that it's going to be an easy fix, that I'll be able to convince them that it is my own work. But yeah, because it'd be really sad if all of that stuff is lost. I mean, obviously I could try and put it on a different platform, but Amazon is so, you know, it's universal, right? So it's so handy to be able to do that. And there's no upfront cost. I'm just going to let it play out. What will be, I guess. And I can just hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and just keep digging away at the, you know, at the other streams, and be grateful that I do have those other streams, because I would be panicking really badly right now if that was my only stream of income. So the business account, thankfully, I've been quite disciplined in how much I'm paying myself, so that I have a few months of wages in there to be able to pay myself if everything completely disappeared, so that I had time to, you know, sort out something else. So thank you. I want to say thank you again. You know, there are some of you who come and you watch everything that I upload, or you watch a lot of what I upload. You are always the most supportive people, and I really want to say thank you. So thank you so much for that. I would really appreciate it if you would interact with this video. If you could give it a thumbs up, drop me a comment. That really is helpful in the old YouTube algorithm. So in October, you are going to be seeing more of my face because obviously I have to. I have to now. I need to make up the money that potentially is gone from KDP. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Let me know where you're watching from. As always, that's always so interesting to me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.